grotesque troglodytes of Twitter. Hello. With this video, I'm going to paraphrase this now. This is not intentionally designed to harass anyone. Do not go after anyone that I'm talking about in this video. And do not think this is 100% true, because leaks and information trickle out, some of it true, some of it not. I think we have to be careful with that. So I'm just talking about what I've heard, what's coming out, and what's going on. So Fellowship of the Fans released the most feeble statement I can imagine. Fellowship of the Fans was one of my go-tos for Tolkien content. It's interesting, and there's been a bit of drama. So part of the statement was about their Twitter account being permanently suspended, and it was put in read-only mode. The thing is about that is the spamming thing is they tend to use the same tags, and once you start using the same tags repeatedly, not a few times in a day to get something trending, but every post will have the same tags for weeks and weeks, that triggers something in X's algorithm. They also said the past is dead and we can move forward or die with it, and move forward we shall, and all who support the show. This is such a feeble statement. The last 4 days have really shown the value of being a Tolkien fan in the community, whether you like or dislike a Tolkien movie, show, or adaptation. This is a lie. They have openly gone after people who don't like, especially the people behind it, because they have the Unhinged Fellowship there. So anyone who doesn't like Rings of Power, they immediately view as a right-wing extremist. The Unhinged Fellowship, just to clarify, their only interest in the Rings of Power and Lord of the Rings and all of this stuff is how much lube they're going to need for their 18-inch strap-ons. That's it. Not only was that statement blatantly untrue because they censor any criticism of the show, but it's also watching people behind it throw tantrums is just funny. Some of these people have a lot of accounts and they're absolutely grotesque human beings. But this is what happens when you get a bunch of troglodytes that only care about getting off to a show. You know what? We all got our stuff, just broadcasting on the internet. One of the troglodytes they hired is a middle-aged woman with an egg-laying fetish who sent me, one of two women around the same time, that sent me death threats. She's not actually middle-aged, but that's how I annoy her, by calling her that. She attempted to dox me. Instead, she doxed the wrong person, a relative of mine, who happened to look, me and him look really alike. Like, the internet thinks we're the same people with face recognition. It's actually frustrating. Leaks, and leaks. The leaks have been fascinating. One of them, I think pretty much everyone guessed. They are apparently on Amazon's payroll, and they're were paid large sums of money to make sure it was all pleasant and only good things were said about their show. Apparently, again, take this one with a pinch of salt, they're still on Amazon's payroll, hence the focus on Rings of Power. But then again, I take that one with a pinch of salt too, because that's guaranteed views. If it's undeclared sponsorship, that breaks TSO on YouTube. I do sponsorships, you have to click that little button. If you don't, you can get in trouble. But there are certain companies that I've turned down that have asked me not to do it and just say it's a shout out. I wonder why that is. And I've always turned that down. If you're a corporation or a company and you ask me to give you a shout out in exchange for a free product or money, that is a sponsorship. Other leaks include that many of the followers are paid for. Their numbers on Twitter and on YouTube may be paid for. You can buy followers with a lot of money, and some people do it. It gives you an algorithm boost if you've got a large number of followers. So that, again, I take that one with a pinch of salt, because I've never done it, by the way, but so many people do it just to boost the algorithm, because algorithms are dependent on numbers sometimes, and that can be a problem. Inside, I'll use the word group, certain people are not happy that some troglodytes came on board, as they are causing drama, they're aggressive and making them look bad on the internet, and certain people are unhappy with that situation. This is the thing, we all have the right to criticise media we consume, and I have consumed the media that Fellowships of Fans have created, and I can say this, yes, their old videos are fantastic, but progressively the disconnect from what they're saying has become very evident. My personal take is that there is something shady here, but again, that's my personal feelings. That's not, this is proven, but there just seems to be something going on here. And the fact that they now have people who are basically attack dogs one of the leaks referred to the group as, I can't even think of the word, but they used something not particularly nice and then said attack dogs because they're morons. The fact that this is going on and we're watching this play out on Twitter and people behind the show throw tantrums and people just being gross is disturbing. And you know what? You are allowed to criticize the media you consume. And criticizing Rings of Power. I can criticize Lord of the Rings as well. That's a thing that most people don't know. You can criticize the media you consume. And if you create media on the internet, you are open to criticism. Hello. I'm on the internet. I make media that people consume. You can criticize me. Criticism is not bullying. It's criticism. If you do not have criticism, it becomes an echo chamber. But these people don't want criticism. They want to shut people down. They don't want anyone involved. And ultimately, they want to shout down anyone that isn't 100% behind them and agrees with them 100%. In fairness, I'd rather trust Walmart sushi than big names giving Rings of Power good reviews. And I mean, the honest review that they did of Rings of Power was pitiful, because it was very obvious, oh, contracts have gone away, but we still have to be nice. It was very tame, and it didn't feel genuine at all, and it felt disingenuous. I don't know if it was disingenuous, but it just felt disingenuous. And it's sad, because some of their older videos are some of my favourite stuff. As I've said, you can like Rings of Power, but don't be upset when people criticise it. It's real. Don't be upset if someone criticises something you like, because everything you consume is open to criticism, including you. So, I'm going to sign off. I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful day.